Hello, folks. Good evening. Whatever you've been doing on your Friday night, your Good Friday night. Hopefully, you're going to stick around with me because we're going to be watching Oxford United against Leeds. It's the fourth game that we've been streaming today. And some people have been in the chat with me since the start. It's been lovely, actually. We had the very first game of the day. The 12:30 was Derby County 0, Luton 1. It was at the foot of the Championship. It was a really, really gritty game. Not a particularly easy one to watch, but a really important win for Luton that now takes them just within goal difference of getting out of the relegation zone. Big performance from them. And they'll need some more if they're going to stay up because they've got a very tough fixture list between now and the end of the season. Then we went on to the 3 o'clock game, which was Coventry 2, West Brom 0. Coventry cementing their place in the playoffs and probably ending West Brom's hopes of qualifying for the playoffs, I've got to say. But that was a really interesting game. Coventry taking the lead early on. They doubled it early in the second half, and West Brom very shortly after went down to 10 men. After that, it was a bit of a procession to 3 points for Coventry, to be honest, but it was a really good victory for them. And then we've just watched in the 5:30, Sheffield United 2, Cardiff City 0. Cardiff, again, right down at the foot of the Championship. There's not an awful lot down for them. The coach, Omar Reza, has not really got an awful lot out of them today. I think Sheffield United just quickened the play up a couple of times. We're talking about 2 goals in moments, really, for Sheffield United. It was a deflected goal that led to Gustavo Hamer scoring the first, a deflected shot. And then the second was late on, again, a deflected shot, which goes across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Ben Brereton Diaz. So Sheffield United now keep the pressure on Leeds, who play now. They have a game in hand, obviously Leeds over Sheffield United. They're 2 points ahead of him. They can go 5 points clear if they beat Oxford United tonight. And 5 points clear feels decisive, doesn't it? 5 points clear. If Leeds go 5 clear, Burnley are, of course, already 5 clear because they beat Watford earlier today. If Leeds and Burnley go 5 points clear of Sheffield United with 3 games left, that feels like it might be the game, the league season done and dusted for Sheffield United. They do have Burnley to play on Monday night, I guess. And they'd have to win that, wouldn't they? They would have to beat Burnley on Monday Night Football, which we'll be watching as well, by the way. We'll be live for that one. 5:30, Monday night. So we'll see how they get on. We'll see how Sheffield United get on against Burnley then. But, listen, it's all built up. All of that has built up to this game that we're about to see now. Oxford United against Leeds United. Oxford are kind of languishing in mid-table in the Championship. I mean, bottom half, I guess. Bottom half. Mid to bottom half. I don't think the point I'm getting is, I don't think they're in any danger, really, of relegation. The relegation zone still seems quite a way away. 5 points. Again, with 3 games left, I feel like 5 points is decisive between Luton, Cardiff, Derby and Oxford United. I think Hull can be dragged back in. Oxford should be alright. Even if they get beat tonight, I think Oxford are okay. So I think, look, they'll want to get a point, I'm sure. They'll want to get a point, maybe even 3, to try and secure safety, because you'd have to say if they were to get a point tonight, that probably is it all done and dusted. For Leeds, though, it's about keeping the pressure on Burnley at the top. They'll obviously want to stave away Sheffield United. They'll want to keep the pressure on Burnley at the top. If they were to win, they go level on points with Burnley, but they go back in front of Burnley on goal difference. So they'll take the top spot, and with 3 games left to play, they could still win the Championship League title this season. Going up as league champions, that is what Danny Farker's searching for, isn't it? So, are we going to see that tonight? Just catching up on the chat. Corin, I'm still here. I know you are. Thank you for sticking with us. You've been the stalwart since the start. Love all that. Gio, hi mate. How you doing? Good to see you. Proxo, hi there, Prem Dad. Good to see you, Proxo. Hope you're doing good. Hope everyone's doing good in the chat. Callum, again, you've been with us for most of tonight, to be honest. Oxford 1, Leeds 3. I think there's going to be goals tonight. I do. I think there's going to be goals in this one. I've been proven wrong before, but I think we're going to see goals. Let's have a quick look at the lineups. And we can see how they're going to get on. So, we'll start with Oxford United. It's Jamie Cumming in goal. Sam Long at full-back with Michael Hellick and Benjamin Nelson at centre-back and Joe Bennett on the other side. Cameron Brannigan and Will Volks, as you'd expect, sitting deep in that midfield. In front of them, it's Alex Matos. Alex Matos is still on loan from Chelsea, by the way. There's still quite a bit expected of him. He was on loan at Huddersfield, I remember, not that long ago. He's been on loan to Oxford this season. His career maybe hasn't taken off in the way that everyone expected it might. But Alex Matos is still very well thought of. Still a young lad. And, come through the Chelsea Academy. He's playing tonight in midfield in front of a former Liverpool graduate of the Academy. And another player who Liverpool thought very, very highly of, Cameron Brannigan. So, Brannigan, Volks, Matos in the midfield. They'll be trying to stem Leeds' attack. And we shall see how they get on. Out wide, it's Przemysław Praketa and Tyler Goodrum, and then finally up front it's Mark Harris, who's Oxford's star striker, I guess. If you're used to Oxford, he's not had as good a season this season as he did last, but he's in the side. For Leeds, we all expected Ilan Meslier to start, but it's not. It's Carl Darlow. Carl Darlow is starting. Mellier's on the bench. So it's Darlow, Firpo, Ampadu, Joe Roden and Omar Bogle. In midfield, it's Ilya Gruev and Ao Tanaka, Japanese midfielder, with a midfield three, just behind the striker, of Mana Solomon, who I believe is still on loan from Spurs, isn't he? Or is it? Yeah, he's on loan from Spurs. Mana Solomon on loan from Spurs. Willie Nonto, who I always like watching. I always enjoy watching Willie Nonto. Solomon and Brendan Aronson. Brendan Aronson just off Joel Pirro. So it's Pirro up front in the centre forward position. Aronson just behind. Nonto and... who did I say? Nonto and Solomon on the wide areas. Gruev and Tanaka sitting. Firpo, Ampadu, Rodon and Bogle at the back, and Carl Darlow in goal. So, we shall see how they get on tonight. Danny Farke will be looking at this and saying there's an opportunity here really to nail down promotion to the Premier League. Because if they win here, I can't see Sheffield United. And it's not 5 points. Sheffield United are 5 points. They'll be 5 points behind Leeds if Leeds were to win this. But it's effectively 6 because the goal difference is so massive. So it would mean Sheffield United winning all 3 of their last games and Leeds basically dropping points in all of their last 3. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. A win tonight confirms Leeds, all but confirms Leeds as a Premier League side next season. And it'll be devastating for Sheffield United. Corin Wilson, well, my husband is on nights at work, so I'm allowed to be on my phone all day. Hey, listen, do what you got to do. Whatever keeps you busy. If you're anything like my wife, whatever keeps you off the blooming TikTok shop or Amazon or we get 90 million parcels arriving at our house every day. So anything that can stave her off that for a little bit is all good with me. Corin, though, at some point I might have to leave 10-15 minutes for a dog walk. There you go and do what you've got to do. Dip in and out, come back when you can. Carl Darlow played for Hull. Yes. Yeah, he did. He was at Newcastle for a long time, of course, as well. Lee Oxley, yeah, I know, yeah. Good to see Dan James as well on the bench. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the bench, actually. So they've got Patrick Bamford, of course, Sam Byram, Gillavogui, James, Matteo Joseph, Meslier, Ramazani, of course, another player. Ramazani, who's still a young player, but once had a big future at Manchester United. And then it's Isaac Schmidt and Max Wober. There's a lot of Premier League quality in that Leeds squad, isn't there? There is some real Premier League quality, I think. And that's excluding the likes of, Pascal Strike and Chambers, Rothwell, etc., who are all out injured as well. So, look, it's going to be an interesting game. This one, there's some danger men, I think, for Oxford, for Leeds to watch out for with Oxford. But everyone's expecting a Leeds win here. Everyone is expecting a Leeds win, and Oxford have proven in the past that they can upset the apple cart and they can spring a shock on teams like this. It's Gary Rowett's specialty, isn't it, at Oxford United? And it's quite a tight and intense stadium as well, the Kassam Stadium. I don't know if you've ever been to the Kassam Stadium before, but it's obviously the corners are open, but it's very much on top of the pitch, so it does feel like quite a big atmosphere for such a small stadium. So we'll see how Leeds cope. I remember Oxford being a tough place to go for a number of teams this season, and look, will Leeds do it themselves? You never know. Edward, have you ever done the time walk? The time walk? What's a time walk? Are you on about a time warp? Are you on about like Rocky Horror Picture Show? Let's do the time warp again. Are you on about that? That's the only time warp I know. I don't know about the time walk, Edward. Mind your own. Come on, Oxford. This is it. Loads of people. There's some people hate watching for an Oxford win. There's some Oxford fans in the chat, I'm sure, but there's certainly some hate watchers hoping that dirty Leeds drop some points. We had some Sheffield United fans in the chat before as well, so no doubt they'll be looking with interest. Edward, yeah, I am on about that. No, I haven't done it then, mate. I'm sorry. Right. We are approaching kickoff. I've got Leeds in the wrong kit. Right, I can't deal with that. This is ridiculous. Put Leeds in the wrong kit. Put Leeds in white and blue. It's got to be the other way around. Right, we need Leeds. We need that in white, and we need that in dark blue. There you go. Feel a bit better now. Now we've got them in the right colours. Perfect. Right, and the game's off. The game's off and it's underway. Perfect. Right. Do what you need to do in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking of the game. Let me know what comments you think of whether or not Leeds can get something here. Will they waltz through this as many expect them to? Ben just nearly put a 10. You nearly put a tenner on Oxford. 15-2 though. Didn't think that was good enough odds. Yeah, I was going to say that's going to be. I can't see Oxford winning. I could maybe see Oxford getting a draw. Oxford double chance. Oxford or draw might have been worth doing, especially if you'd have done both teams to score as well. That might have not been the worst decision ever. But it's a corner to Oxford. Look, it's an early corner in the game. Just put footage of the game on. No. I don't know where people get off thinking they fly in. You can't do that. I'll get my account banned. If I put footage of the game on, the account will get banned. I don't know why you think I'm ever going to do it. The account will literally get cut off. The account will get banned. You can't show live footage of games. People literally pay to watch this. If someone else just streams it, they'll get banned. So it's not me. I'm not being a killjoy, mate. Believe me, I would show it if I could. I'll get banned. Corin, I've got Leeds win or draw with under 5 goals. Maybe. Show it. Listen, stop with the winding up. I'm not showing the foot. I can't show it. If I showed it, I'll lose. The whole channel goes down. The whole channel goes down. So stop telling me to show it. I can't show it. Show it, bro. I'll show something. Show my darker side if you carry on. I can't show it. Ben, just remove him. Remove who? There's about 6 of them saying show it. If I just take it, we'll have no one left. There's about 6 people telling me to show the footage. I can't show the stream. I can't. I'll talk you through it. Like I said, Leeds have got a corner now. We're 2 minutes in. 2 minutes 38 in. Leeds. Here we go. Ball into the box. Chance. Cleared away. Aronson all the way back to Firpo. Get it on, brother. Listen, you're going to have to deal with my commentary. My commentary is all you're going to get. And if that's not good enough, then you better breeze on by, sunshine, because you're getting no more. Not out of me, anyway. I can't do it. It's not, like I said, I would love to be cool and just show the game. Believe me, it would give me no greater pleasure than to just flip the camera around and show you what I'm watching. Sadly, worked too hard for the meagre following that I've already got. I've worked very hard for it, so I can't do it. I'll get banned within seconds. Right. 3 minutes 45 in. I've already lost the crowd. I've already not give the people what they want. When Leeds scored, show it, please. What do you mean when Leeds score? What if Oxford? What if Oxford score? What if it's 3-0 Oxford? That's possible. Dirty Leeds. Listen, yeah, I can't do it. And you've asked that many times now. I don't even want to do it. Even if I could do it, I wouldn't do it. That's the attitude you're getting out of me now. Leeds just recycling the ball here now, as you'd expect. It's going to be all Leeds, isn't it? It's going to be all Leeds. They've had all the ball already. How many of these Leeds players do we think will still be at the club when they are in the Premier League next year? Do we think that Danny Farker and Leeds, did they change? How many did they change? Is it a case of all these players? This is the Leeds side that we can expect to see in the Prem. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure Leeds fans will expect them to add some in the summer. But is there any players that we should be aware of that we would expect to leave the club? There's been rumours about Tanaka. There's been rumours that some Premier League teams are looking at Tanaka. Oh, there you go, James. I don't know, but Tanaka defo stays. This is it. I was going to say there's a number of Premier League teams linked to him. Nonto as well, yeah. And Everton, funnily enough, Everton have been linked to both of them. But in years gone by, when Everton actually had a little bit of money, I don't think Everton are going to pay anywhere near, unless you're willing to give them away for free or on loan. Then Everton probably aren't going to give you any cash for him. They might come back to you and say, we'll give you Jack Harrison back on loan. Ben, if promoted, Leeds go straight back down. If Farker in the Prem with him, he's not good enough for the Prem. He's just got experience of yo-yoing with teams, hasn't he? That's the problem with Danny Farker. Oh, Oxford have pinched it. Tanaka giving it away. Oxford pinch it. Poor from Tanaka. Never mind him coming to the Premier League. He's just put him in a really dangerous position. Shot! Oh! Oxford very nearly score. Unbelievable chance there. It was a great shot from the edge of the area, curling towards goal. And Carl Darlow with a fabulous save, actually. But the first chance of the game, 6 minutes in, wonderful chance. And a great shot from the edge of the area. It might have been from Brannigan, actually. Oxford again going long. Oxford on the counter-attack. They're really hurting Leeds here. Oh, that might be a foul. No? No, he's not getting it. Corin, when is this door giveaway? I've been waiting all day. Dying for a door. Yeah, I was going to say Tanaka just poor in possession. And it's Matos. It's Alex Matos. We talked about Matos, didn't we, before the game? Alex Matos being a player that, you know, there's a lot expected of him. He's still a young player, obviously, come through the Chelsea Academy. We expected him to kick on. He hasn't really kicked on when he was at Huddersfield last year. He's come to Oxford. He started to play regularly. And he's pressed high there on Tanaka, wins the ball back, and somehow manages to create a chance for Oxford. Cameron Brannigan with the shot from the edge of the area. Good save, pushed away by Carl Darlow. James, LUFC, we've been outplayed so far. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. First 8 minutes, Oxford have had a couple of half chances. And they forced the keeper into an early save. And in fact, look at that. Touches in the opposition box. Oxford United 2, Leeds 0. Still only 10 minutes in. Barely 10 minutes in. So, you know, plenty of time for that to change. I'm sure it will. I'm sure Leeds will have the chances. But Oxford are known for ruffling feathers. And it wouldn't be a surprise if we saw more of that between now and the end of the game. And again here, Oxford down the right-hand side. Oxford odds gone to 9-1 for them to win. Well, that's an increase, isn't it? From 7.5 to 1 to 9 to 1 now. It usually does go up after kick-off for some reason. Odds always seem to go up once they're in play. Bogle pulled it into the box. Good clearance by Oxford. Comes out to Tanaka. That's much better. Much, much better from Leeds. But Oxford winning the second balls. That is all you can usually tell straight away what direction a game is heading in. Just track who's winning the second balls in the first 10-15 minutes. You can see who's more up for it. And the answer straight away, you can see Oxford are going to make a game of this. They're going to make a game of it. I mean, part of that, I think, is because Oxford are turning it into a scrap. They're making it the game that Leeds don't want. Leeds want to keep it on the floor. They want to knock it around. They want to try and spread the play. They want to try and get down the sides if they can. Oxford not allowing that. They've narrowed the pitch up very, very well. Mate, Emmen are going to let me down for 150. Why are you backing on the Eerste Divisie? I've no sympathy for you. I have no sympathy for you. None at all. Absolutely none at all. Fucking Emmen. I had Brøndby or draw, so I've won 55 quid today. Brøndby or draw against Midtjylland. Right. Played out wide. Oxford again on the counter-attack. And they're not committing anywhere near enough bodies forward, you know. Lou, is it a good game? Nah, it's not really. Oxford are hitting Leeds on the counter. Leeds just haven't found the rhythm at all yet. We're 12 minutes in. Leeds are picking the ball up There you go. Oxford are winning all the second balls. Matos driving forward here. This is great. Oh, yeah. I mean, I get the feeling that what we're going to see in this one is 0-0 at half-time and then 1-0 either way. I think Leeds might struggle. And I think, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Oxford didn't pinch it. Aronson gets into the box, cleared away by Oxford. FM no casuals are why, because Denmark or Zagreb is much better. Well, I mean, it's, you know, it's better than the second division Dutch league. Come on, give us a chance. Corin, well, I lost out with Cardiff. I had a Cardiff win or draw. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, there was a lot wrong with it, actually. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. There's nothing wrong with backing it. It wasn't a horrific shout. Sheffield United didn't really pull up any trees. I didn't think they played all that well, but Cardiff were poor in the end. Here's Nonto, gets in the box. Poor from him again. Final ball, just not quite right. Not quite right. Food Review Club, is this your full-time job? It is, mate, yeah. It is. Well, to an effect, it is. I quit my full-time job in order to do this, so yeah. Whether or not that proves to be a silly decision or not, time will tell. Good luck on the journey. Yeah, well, I'll probably need it, buddy. I'll probably need it. Callum the Red Bar. Bar what? After United lost to Plymouth, I thought, well, but no. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Sheffield United, yeah, they've not had a great run recently. Ben, achy, but you can always get your job at Mackey's back. I have never worked at Mackey's. Not that there's anything wrong with working at Mackey's. My big brother worked at Mackey's. Nothing wrong with working at Mackey's, but yeah, no, I've never worked at Mackey's. I'm just a silly fool who likes watching football, and I decided to quit a sales director job in the city to come and do this, to watch Oxford United against Leeds. And it might be a horrendous shout. Oh, ball into the box. It's gone all the way through for the goal kick. Food Review Club, you heard the Klopp to Madrid rumours. Thoughts? I don't think Klopp's going. I think he's quite happy with his cushy Red Bull director of football job, where he can travel to New York to watch the Red Bulls. He can travel to Brazil to watch Bragantino. He can travel to Salzburg, Leipzig, Leeds, of course, now. Leeds, Red Bull. So I think Klopp's quite happy where he is, and I don't see Real Madrid tempting him, because he said from day one, hasn't he? He probably sees Liverpool, Mainz and Dortmund being the three clubs that he's managed. He was like, I'll probably retire and those will be the three clubs that I've managed. He's not going to go and manage at Madrid unless he believes that he can build like a dynasty there. Do you know where he can be? Like, he can build 7 or 8 years at that club. He ain't going to stay at Madrid for 7 or 8 years. He ain't going to stay at Madrid 7, 8 years. So I think if he'll look at it and go, what's the chances he goes to Madrid and improves his reputation? I mean, he might go and win a few things, but what's the chances he goes to Madrid and it all goes tits up and Madrid get rid of him after 12 months? I think his reputation is only enhanced by him being out the game. Callum Kieran works at IKEA. I wish I did work at IKEA, actually. Do you know the staff benefits they get? Absolutely insane. I got this chair from IKEA. Went and bought this chair from IKEA. It was wicked. Corin, I'm unemployed, looking for a new job, not for the first time. Hey, listen, nothing wrong with being unemployed. I worked in recruitment for nearly 20 years. Nothing wrong with being unemployed. Ben, in the words of Martin Luther King, I have a dream. Very different dreams, though. Yeah, absolutely. Kieran, I can see your tears. The tears have dried from last night. I'm not crying anymore. Leeds get into the area. It's cleared away by Oxford. It's all one-way traffic now. The game has settled down now. It was a lot of Oxford on the counter-attack. Now it feels like Leeds just getting into good areas. Here's Nonto. Great shot. Good save by the Oxford keeper. Oh, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Edward, when was the last time you danced at a party? Oh, I don't know. Probably my wedding. That's it. And the only reason I danced at my wedding is because the lighting was right. I can't go to a lot of parties because most parties are flashing lights. And, I don't know if you know, but flashing lights and epileptics don't generally tend to get along. So, yeah, I tend to stick in the back or by the bar when there's parties on. I'll have a dance there. But, yeah, probably at my wedding a few years ago. We had a bit of a jive. Lee Oxley, seems happy. Klopp at Red Bull. I just don't see him going anywhere. I think if he ever leaves Red Bull, it'll be for like the German national team job. I could see him doing that. But he's quite happy. He's just paid £3 million for a mansion in Tenerife. He ain't going anywhere. I think he likes his life, he likes his job, and he also said, by the way, he was like, I have massive respect for the likes of Ferguson and Wenger and Ancelotti and, those who are managing into the 60s and 70s. He was like, that's just not for me. I have no interest in doing that at all. I want to retire young and all that sort of thing. So, I don't think Klopp's going anywhere. Passes in the final third, 10 for Oxford, 55 for Leeds. Possession, 80% Leeds, 20% Oxford. It has been one-way traffic. That was just in the last 10 minutes. So first 8 minutes, one side at one game. Oxford had some chances. Last 10 minutes, all Leeds. Lou, let me know if Brannigan shoots. I certainly will. FM No Casuals dude thought he was special. Everyone has dreams, man. Okay, and he should go City. He ain't going to City. What are you talking about? Although I imagine... Hang on, Klopp to Rangers after the Leeds owners complete the takeover. Where does Rangers come into it? Dan Canavan, Slay Queen. Yes. Lee Oxley, me neither. Callum the Red, 1-0 Oxford. Mike Oxford. Can't see it. Sadly. You're not getting me to say these stuff. Why do you keep throwing them in the chat? It's not happening. Right, Leeds down the right-hand side now. They might have a chance to get the ball into the box. Leeds owners 49ers are close to completing a takeover at Rangers. Really? There you go. See, I didn't know that. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate the insight. I did not know that. See, why can't the rest of you be as insightful as that when you come in the chat? Instead of talking about door competitions and saying I'm a Man United fan to anyone that comes in. Or an Everton fan. Or just generally lying. Here we go, ball down the left-hand side. Junior Firpole pulls it back. Tanaka, shot from distance, blocked by Oxford. Lou, hang on a minute. Brannigan's already had a shot on target, Lou. You said tell you about Brannigan. Brannigan has already had a shot on target in this game. You do know that, right? Scott, then the Red Bull sponsorship can come and play at Rangers as well. I mean, do we want the Red Bull sponsorship coming into play at Rangers? Most loyal person ever. Thought you said Flanagan. No, Cameron Brannigan. John Flanagan has long since retired. True loss to the game as well. I'll take every penny we can get. Do you think there's ever a future? Because obviously it was talked about for a number of years. I know we're going off topic here. We're talking about Oxford and Leeds, but Oxford are just knocking it. Sorry, Leeds are just knocking it round at the back currently. Do you think there's ever a future where Rangers and Celtic are sort of included in a Premier League? Do you think there's ever a time where it maybe becomes a British league, and maybe we see? Because I don't know. I'd quite like to see there be a British league, and maybe the likes of Shamrock and players like that in over in Ireland as well get involved. I know that would be an British and Irish league, but you know what I mean. It feels mad if it would be just British and Northern Ireland. I'd quite like to see a full British Isles team, or league rather. That'd be quite cool. Not necessarily saying that Celtic, Rangers, etc. would immediately be in the Premier League and stay there, but it'd be interesting to have them added to the 92. Do you not think? Maybe extend. Maybe create a league. You could probably create an extra league, couldn't you, and have Division 4. More games on telly. Imagine doing an away trip to, like, Derry. Liverpool v Derry away. FM No Casuals, why are people so desperate to sell out their club? I don't know. I mean, I can understand people wanting their club to do better, but it's mad to think about. I think Liverpool struck gold with FSG. I know Liverpool fans have real issues with FSG, and I can understand to an extent. But I think we got owners who don't really care about Liverpool per se. They've not got any particular affinity with the club, and yet they've rebuilt 2 stands of the stadium. They're potentially looking at rebuilding the rest of the stadium. They've revamped the training ground. They've given us state-of-the-art facilities. They've brought in a best-in-class recruitment team behind the scenes. We've had our most successful period ever under multiple managers. I just think FSG have been unbelievable. American owners, unbelievably well run. And yes, would we have liked to spend more? Yes, of course. But it kind of irks me a little bit when I hear Liverpool fans complain about owners who it could have been so much worse, and we should know that, having experienced Hicks and Gillette. Corner for Leeds, sent to the back stick, and it's gone straight out. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad when I see clubs complaining they want new owners, blah blah blah. It really is better the devil, I would rather, much rather, Liverpool had, let's say FSG never existed. David Moores sold Liverpool to Hicks and Gillette, if I remember correctly, and largely his reasoning was the club needs more money to kick on, and these guys have got the funds to do it, and I don't. Now, I would much rather Liverpool have stayed with a guy who cared about the club than and been in maybe mid-table forever. Maybe we'd have been where Everton are now. Maybe we'd have been that, like what Everton got with Bill Kenwright. I would have much rather had that experience for Liverpool than what we got with Hicks and Gillette. So yeah, you've always got to be careful when you've got new owners coming into the club, because they can take you to the brink. They can sometimes ruin the entire club. I mean, United have kind of seen the worst of that as well, and they're still recovering from it. They may not recover from it. We don't know how Ineos are going to do yet. Calm the Red prediction, Kieran, for this. I mean, my prediction before the game was I thought Leeds would win, and I also said I think there'll be goals in this. But typically, as you've seen if you've watched me in any number of games, every time I predict either goals, I predicted goals in the Manchester derby. I predicted goals in this one. I predicted goals in... Every time I predict goals, there's barely any. Every time I think it's going to be a tight, close-run thing, like, for example, when I said PSG and Aston Villa, I'm almost certain will be 1-0 or 1-1, ended up finishing, what was it, 3-2 or 4-3, whatever it finished on the night, it was mad. 4-3, wasn't it? Yeah, 4-3 to PSG. Oh, sorry, 3-2, no, 3-2 to Villa, wasn't it? 3-2 to Villa. Yeah, so I can't call it right. You ask for predictions, I'll give you predictions, but I usually get them wrong when it comes to goals. Scott Duncanton, the time has come and gone for that to happen. In my opinion, can't see it happening. Scott, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Corin, do you think Chansiri will walk out of the club? Is that Chansiri Blackburn's owner? Is that who we're talking about? Or, sorry, no, that's Sheffield Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday is Chansiri. I always get that. I don't know why I always think of Venky's. When I think of terrible championship owners, and there you go as an obvious thing. Yeah, I don't think he will, no. I don't think he will. I'm sure they had a meeting not that long ago, didn't they? And there was talk of getting him out of the club, and he kind of basically give the two fingers up to the supporters. So it's a sad situation Sheffield Wednesday are in at the minute. Ben, agree on FSG, no issues with them. Corin, we love you, Prem Dad, we do. We need to name your jinx. I don't know, yeah, the Prem Dad jinx, whatever you want to call it. Oxford, there's a break in play, that's why we're talking shite. If you were wondering, by the way, why it was... there's just a break in play, an Oxford player went down, he's got to change his boot. It's not been one for the purists. Again, we've not experienced brilliant football over this Good Friday Championship football bonanza. It's not been lots of good football, but it has been... What are we on now? Is it 1, 3, 5? We've had 5 goals in 3 games. That feels very poor, doesn't it? Feels really low. 5 goals in 3 games. So we better get some goals in this one. We really need some goals in this game. Harris has just fouled Firpo, I think, on that left-hand side. Ampadu takes the quick free kick. Back to Darlow, and Leeds recycle it again and bring it forward. I just wonder how Leeds adapt to the Premier League with the players that they have. That's why I asked that question earlier about the players that they've got. There's undoubtedly some quality there, but it feels like they lack experience at the Premier League level. It feels like they maybe need some more seasoned Premier League pros to come in. That's a great ball. Leeds are in here. Must score. Oh, it's a great save. It wasn't even a save, actually. It was a clearance. Who was that? Was that Brannigan? It was a fabulous ball over the top. Solomon gets in down the left-hand side. He gets it across the face of goal. The keeper misses it. Who is that who clears that away? That's sensational from Oxford. Oh, it's brilliant. It's under his own goal. Literally under his own crossbar. It's Nelson. Nelson, under his own crossbar, smashes that behind for a corner to Leeds. Leeds whip it in, flick on, all the way through to the other side, and Oxford get the ball back. Whew, that was close. Very, very close. It's Luke STT. Can't be arsed with Leeds back in the Prem, especially under Farker. I think Farker will lose his job. I can already see it now. Danny Farker will take him up and then immediately he'll go back down with him. Or if they're smart, which I think they would be under Red Bull, they'd probably let him go about Christmas time, and we might see someone like maybe Steve Cooper, or maybe, I don't know, maybe some hot young German manager, given that, you know, Red Bull are in charge. Maybe we see a different type of approach from Leeds. After Angus Gunn. I met his dad at a conference once. Brian Gunn, ex-Norwich keeper. He was at a conference I was working at. Chance down the right-hand side. Must be. Oh, it's 1-0 Leeds. Dirty, dirty Leeds. It's Manor Solomon. That was a hell of a goal. It was Omar Bogle down the right-hand side. Leeds have done that all game now. They have done that all game. It was a run forward from Bogle. I'm not sure who plays the pass. Let's just watch this back. I don't know who plays that pass. It's a fabulous ball from the Leeds centre-back. Is it Aronson? I thought it was a centre-back who played that. I don't know who it is. Let me see. It's a wonderful ball across the face of goal from Bogle. But it's all about the pass. It's all about the pass from... Was it Joe Rodon? I think it was Joe Rodon then. Yeah, Joe Rodon. Rodon with the pass. Split the Oxford defence. Bogle running right down on the right channel. Passes it across the face of goal. Manor Solomon with a tap in. Easy peasy lemon squeezy from Leeds. And it's 1-0. There you go. Now goals change games. We've seen that before. Goals change games. Now Oxford have to come out. Corin, who is the worst owner in the Prem? Yeah, Glazers and then Bowley. I think Luke called it right there. Absolutely. Isn't Manor Solomon on loan from Spurs? He is, yes. Manor Solomon is on loan from Spurs. Corin, I say Glazers, then Levy, then Bowley. How is Levy a bad owner? How is Daniel Levy a bad owner? Again, it baffles me that he's got you to maybe two European finals. You can't say he's not invested in the team. He's got to 2 European finals. Potentially, anyway. I mean, I'm sure they will against Bodo Glimt. But 2 European finals. Built you maybe the best stadium in Europe. I don't know what people want from their owners. If Daniel Levy's a bad owner, I don't want to know what a bad one is, to be honest. Arters, come on Leeds. Well, it's a free kick to Oxford here. And there's a chance here for Oxford to get a ball into the box. Corin, Daniel Levy, I find it funny what he does. It's Luke. Yeah, I think Levy is alright. Spurs fans need to be careful what they ask for with wanting him out. I mean, look, maybe there's more to the eye. Maybe there's something I don't know about. It's entirely possible. Maybe there's other things that Spurs fans care about or whatever. Maybe they know something I don't about why Daniel Levy is such a terrible owner. If there is any Spurs fans that know that, let me know. I'd love to hear what it is. But from what I know, what I've seen over the years from Daniel Levy, he's known as one of football's, best operators in terms of he never gets mugged off for players leaving the club. I think he's been quite astute in the players that he's helped to bring in. Spurs don't often overpay for players. It has happened, don't get me wrong, but they very rarely do. I think Spurs have been quite shrewd, quite astute in the transfer market. The only thing you could say with Daniel Levy is that he's maybe been a little bit naive, maybe too trusting at times, and he's maybe kept his faith in managers for too long. I don't know. 42, who scored? Manor Solomon. Manor Solomon with the goal. It was Omar Bogle with the cross from the right-hand side. Wonderful ball down the right-hand side. Whipped across the face of goal. Manor Solomon. The keeper was in no man's land. It was a tap-in, but he smashed it into the roof of the net. Really good goal from Leeds. Corin, you're saying sacking the manager just 6 days before the cup final is being a good owner. Well, no, and you could certainly point to things that Levy has done and say could have done better, should have done better. Fine, I'll say that, but I don't think it constitutes him being a bad owner. It's Luke's. For every Sheikh Mansour, there's hundreds of very, very dodgy owners. Absolutely. Loads of owners. It's amazing how many owners breeze into town and say they've got unlimited funds and they want to take the club into the stratosphere. You know, they want this club in the Champions League within 5 years, and they never have the money a lot of the time. Oxford flying forward here. That's amazing pace. That's going to be a goal. No, it's a corner. It's a corner kick. It was Roden who played the ball for the assist, and it's Roden who's just put this behind for a corner kick to Oxford. Corin, best manager. Lee Oxley, Solomon, brilliant. Hopefully stays. I think Solomon is never going to get the games that he needs at Spurs, so I think Leeds might suit him. Oxford did the ball in, corner kick, swung in, shot! Whoa, very nearly. It was a good block from Leeds. Tell you what, he didn't have a hesitation in shooting there. Plaqueta with a shot from maybe 40 yards out on the volley. I mean, he caught it quite well, actually. Corin, Sheikh Mansour is a dodgy owner. Don't let City fans hear you saying that. City fans would completely disagree with that comment. Perkin, Warbeck, dirty Leeds, come on you Blues. I assume you mean come on you Blues. I don't get why people don't like Todd Bowley. I mean, Todd Bowley, there is a lot to dislike. In terms of the way that he's already operated at Chelsea, that the money that's been thrown around, the buying the women's team back from selling the women's team to themselves, selling hotels to themselves. It seems a lot of circumnavigating the rules a little bit and a bit of jiggery pokey. We don't really like all that. And I don't think it's the most efficient thing either. I think there's a very real possibility that the excessive spending, might well have got Chelsea in real problems that they can't reel back from, they can't roll back from. You look at how much Chelsea have spent in such a short space of time, there's no way that they don't fall under the bracket of breaches from UEFA or whoever it might be. So, yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know about Todd Bowley. I'd say he definitely qualifies as a bad owner. Time will tell whether that changes, I guess. Corin, you can't trust him, can you? Look at the mess he got them in trying to buy Man City, causing troubles to a team you're trying to buy. Yeah, that wasn't him though, he's just funded the project and stayed out of it. That's true, yeah, he has just been the money man, really. Oxford clear it away. And they're away here now, there's a good... Whoa, unlucky. He's just got absolutely smashed in the face there. I don't know who that was, Ampadu. Plaqueta, there's a high boot here. There's a high boot. And there's a claim for a... There's going to be a claim for the red card. I know he's not going to get a red card. But Ampadu is flying forward. Let's just have a little look here. Plaqueta. It's a 50-50 ball. And Plaqueta goes for the ball. He doesn't kick him in the head. I hate that. It's a high foot. Fine. It's a high foot. He's not getting a red card for that. He doesn't even touch his head, and Ampadu's down like this. Right, hang on a second. Let's go back to the chat. Yeah, we're 41 minutes in here. Premislav Plaqueta has been booked for Oxford. It looks like Todd Cantwell with that hairdo. Josh, too many Reds today. I know. I was going to say, we said that earlier. I think we said that in the last game. There's been, is it 6 Reds in the Championship today? 2 of them at Watford. But yeah, 6 Reds. Insane. It's Luke. People should get retrospective bans for that kind of play acting. I'm with you on that. FM No Casuals, mate, I'm doing an FM save in Bulgaria, only signing players from Slavic countries. The Nico Bellic save. Nico Bellic. That's my favourite GTA ever. Callum, he never even touched him. FM No Casuals, most Reds were deserved. I haven't seen any of the other Reds apart from Coventry's. I saw Coventry's, that was about it. Nothing else. So I can't comment on any of the other Reds. Lee Oxley, yeah, I know Premier League games should be good. Premier League games tomorrow. We start at 3 o'clock. That's the only... I guess I get a little break. I get a little break tomorrow in that I only start doing these streams from 3 o'clock. Well, 2 o'clock. We'll start at 2 for Everton and Manchester City. Start at 2 o'clock to build up to that one. And then 5:30 Aston Villa Newcastle. That's going to be a monster game. So, yeah, looking forward to that. And then on Sunday, we're doing Man United and Wolves. And then Liverpool against... Well, Leicester against Liverpool is the 4:30, isn't it? So we'll be doing them. And on Monday, we're back to the Championship for 2 games in the Championship. Probably Plymouth and Coventry, followed by Burnley and Sheffield United. And then the 8 o'clock kickoff is Tottenham against Forest. Come on, the Tottenham. I'd really love Forest to fall out of the Champions League. 42, what's the early prediction for Villa Newcastle? Desmond, 2-2. 2-2. I've got to sit on the fence with that one. I think there's going to be goals. Both teams look like they've got a bit of run of form in them, and both teams could well qualify for the... I think Newcastle certainly will now. But Villa, they've got the bit between the teeth. They're level on points with Chelsea. And you know, part of me thinks they really could. They really could do it, you know. They could do it. They could finish ahead of Chelsea. And that would almost certainly mean Maresca gets sacked. Almost certainly. If I had to choose any preference out of Villa and Newcastle getting Champions League, if I had to choose, I mean, I'd want both. I haven't really got a preference, no. I like Newcastle as a club. I like Villa as a club. So, I guess in an ideal world, I would love Chelsea and even City, if necessary. But it's probably Chelsea and Forest. I think in an ideal world, the 5 teams that get Champions League football, if it were my choice, I would love Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, City and Villa. They would be the 5 teams I'd like to see get it. I'd like to see Chelsea fall out of it, and I'd like to see Forest fall out of it. Corin, has it been a poor game? I mean, we've got 3 minutes of injury time. The goal was really, really good. The goal was really high quality, Corin, I think. But there's not been many other chances in the game. It's been quite flat. Should I name my manager that Nico name? Yeah, why not? Nico Bellic or Dimitri Bulgarin. Oh no, Dmitry Raskolov. That's what he was called, wasn't it? Dmitry Raskolov. He was the bad guy in GTA. Sam Savini should do the Arsenal Ipswich game. See us losing, us being Arsenal. I can't see Arsenal losing that one. And also, it's a bit of a damp squib, Sam. I think it's a bit of a damp squib, that one, because I mean, I know Man United and Wolves is to some extent, but Ipswich are down, and Arsenal are now fully focused on the Champions League. I think United, there's still a need for them to impress the fans a little bit. Like, for example, Ruben Amorim has just had this massive, massive high in midweek. And I think if Man United were to lose against Wolves at Old Trafford, it kind of, a lot of it gets sucked away again, doesn't it? And it's like that whole tension of, oh my God, are we gonna throw it away against Bilbao? Which United is going to turn up here against Bilbao? 42 Forest. What's the beef with Forest? There's no beef with Forest. There's no beef with Forest. I actually quite like Forest, and I wanted Forest to get the Champions League, but they've kind of incurred my wrath a little bit. I'll be honest, they've kind of incurred my wrath because all I said was a few chance for Leeds, good save by the keeper. All I said. Forest had a bit of a crap couple of games. It wasn't a couple of games. It was about 5 games actually. There was about 5 games where Forest, I think they needed penalties to get past Exeter. They needed penalties to get past Ipswich. Generally looked a bit rubbish. They got beat away at Bournemouth 5-0. They had like a spell where they just weren't winning and weren't playing well. And I said, it feels like, I did in a prediction show, I did a video where I was talking about predictions, and I said, it feels like the wheels are just coming off Forest a little bit. That one sentence, I mean, I got some messages. I got some nasty messages from Forest fans saying that I had this like axe to grind with Forest and why am I such a hater? Why do I hate Forest? And they were just the nice messages. So, yeah, I mean, there's part of me now that thinks, well, sod you. It looks like you're falling apart a little bit now, actually. The Everton game at the weekend, you were crap. And Everton battered you, and Everton deserved to win that one. Right, it's half time here. So a little bit of me is just like, yeah, do you know what? If Forest, if they get it, if they get the Champions League, I'll applaud. I'll say, well done. Nuno's done a great job. Even if they only get Europa, I think he's done a great job. But if they only get the Europa, I might just revisit some of them comments. Lee Oxley is the Chelsea manager leaving. I think Maresco will leave if Chelsea don't get Champions League football. Ideally, City and Chelsea miss out for me. I wouldn't mind City missing out. FM No Casuals, Continental B licence. Serve time in The Hague, but knows a Slavic wonder kid when he sees one. Yeah, that's it. 42. Amorim said he will be playing the kids, though, in the Prem. The focus is Europa. And if you believe that, then you'll believe anything. There's no way at all Amorim just switches now and plays the kids between now and the end of the season. It ain't going to happen. Maybe for the last couple of games, but it's 2 weeks. There's 2 weeks until the first leg of Bilbao. You need to keep players fresh. He isn't going to rest them this weekend against Wolves. No chance. They will play, and he'll play a full-strength team. And if Wolves were to beat him, or even if it just finishes as a draw, it will just pop that balloon a little bit. It will. It'll just pop that balloon a little bit. Safwana, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Sam, if we don't win the Champions League and Spurs win Europe, who's had a better season? Spurs. Any team that wins a trophy has had a better season, objectively, than one that hasn't. Trophies are what it's about. Silverware is what it's about. If Spurs win the Europa League, they have had a better season than any team, bar Liverpool, Newcastle, and whoever wins the FA Cup. Corin, what will you do if Bilbao knock Man United out? I'll be made up. I'll be sat here watching it. You'll be able to see what happens because I'll be here live watching it, and I'll be cheering like I was last night for the Leon goals. And I'll be cheering every single Bilbao goal, saying, get in, come on Bilbao, vamos! And hopefully they actually see it out, unlike Leon did. It's Luke, I don't like Forest or Nuno's style, to be honest. I want them to get Champions League, but don't like the football. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I am, mate, to be honest. That's kind of it's kind of the bus I'm on. I don't mind Forest as a club. I don't mind them. But yeah, I'm not a lover of the football. The style of play is pretty dull. But miraculously, I also think it would work quite well in Europe. I think they'll do well in Europe. Corin, I loved I thought you said flashing then. I loved thrashing Forest. Yeah, that was a good result for Everton, wasn't it? Really good result. Right, so we're half time here. Leeds are 1-0 up. It's unlikely, I think, that we'll see any changes at half time. Based on what we've seen in the first half, I think Oxford, Gary Rowett will probably look at it and say, do you know what? We're doing okay. I don't really see an urgent need to change here. They have got into the Leeds final third a couple of times, and they've looked quite dangerous when they've done it. They've looked all right off set pieces as well. They've caused Carl Darlow a little bit of concern by, he's had to make a couple of saves. So I think all it'll be from Rowett is do you know what? Let's just keep at what we're doing, stay tight at the back, keep with the same sort of system, but maybe let's take some more risks going forward. Obviously, the next goal is crucial in this one. Leeds score it, the game's done. Oxford score it, yeah, it's back, it's game on. But I expect, sadly, we've not had a lot of goals. I've not had a lot of goals to watch today on the Championship extravaganza on Good Friday. We've not had a lot of goals, and I think we're going to see this stay at 1-0 for some time yet. I think it's going to carry on till late in the game, and then maybe Leeds hit them on the counter-attack and make it 2. That would be my half-time prediction in this one. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments, though. Let me know what you're thinking in the chat. How do you think it's going to look? And what do you think of the consequences so far is that this is sending Leeds back top of the table. This is sending Leeds to the top of the Championship table. They're just showing back the chance that Solomon created. Solomon scored, but before he created the best chance of the game as well. Put a ball, flashed it across the face of goal, and Nelson, the Oxford defender, clears it away under his own crossbar. But the ball across the face of goal from Omar Bogle is textbook. It's the pass from Joe Rodon that splits the defence. The pass from Joe Rodon is quality. And Mana Solomon's got a tap in at the back post. I can't believe that's Michael Bridges on the sofa there. Michael Bridges. In fact, Michael Bridges has done something that Michael Owen never has in the Premier League. He scored 20 goals in a Premier League season for Leeds once. Michael Owen never scored 20 goals in a Premier League season. How mad's that to think? Won a Ballon d'Or, never scored 20 goals in a Prem season. Crazy. Crazy. Here's the chance. Cameron Brannigan just hitting it from distance. It was about 25 yards out. Curled effort. And he had Carl Darlow worried there. It was a good save from the keeper. Really good save. But as we stand with the rest of the Championship, I think it's kind of as we were. There's not been any real movers and shakers today. I think that last minute goal for Borough is massive. That does just put Coventry still on ice. If Borough had dropped points there, and they were so close to doing so, I think Coventry and Bristol City were assured of the playoffs almost. Now, there's still a chance that Middlesbrough can get back in it. The Derby and Luton game, obviously that was massive, and I think Hull getting beat by Swansea probably does just put them back into the mix. Portsmouth got a big win against Norwich. That's going to drag them out of it. Stoke as well. Stoke got dragged out of it. They beat Sheffield Wednesday today. So, a couple of teams just getting themselves out of positions that they don't want to be in. Middlesbrough with probably the big winners today. Millwall got absolutely smashed. Thank God they're not coming up. Thank God we're not having Millwall in the Premier League. Espanyol 1, Getafe 0 in La Liga for those that are interested. Rennes 1, Nantes 0 in Ligue 1 as well. And Sporting Lisbon are 1-0 up in Portugal. Also, Al Nassr, Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr are getting beat by Al Qadsiya in the Saudi Pro League as it stands. Ronaldo, John Duran and Sadio Mane are the front three in that game. And Aubameyang has scored the winner. Aubameyang has scored the winner for Al Qadsiya against Al Nassr. Lion Imran Khan, glory, glory, Manchester United, the comeback kings. Oh, here we go. Another Manchester United fan to give me some grief. Listen, Manchester United played... No, they didn't play well. They didn't play well. They did not play well. They had a good game at the very end. It was a good comeback. I'll say that. It was a good comeback. It was a horrendous performance from Manchester United. Let's not pretend it was anything other than that. It was a poor, poor performance from Manchester United. And I don't think they did deserve to go through. I don't think they did deserve to go through, actually. No, they didn't. They didn't. They got very fortunate with a sketchy sending off, a sketchy penalty, and then a shove in the back from Harry Maguire. It was all a bit sketchy. It was all a bit sketchy. Lion Imran Khan, they was in the lead, sour grape. Alright, maybe it is a little bit of sour grapes. Maybe it is a little bit of sour grapes, fine. But, you know, I'm entitled to a little bit of sour grapes. I thought Manchester United were getting beat. They were 4-2 down with 10 minutes to go. I was celebrating. I was feeling good. I was feeling happy. I was smiling. And then I had to watch that. And I'll be watching again. I'll be hate watching again this weekend for Wolves. And hopefully Wolves batter United. And then Bilbao will batter United. We can't have United winning the Europa League. We really can't have United winning the Europa League. And look, Leeds fans are watching this. I'm sure Leeds fans will agree with me. Leeds fans don't want to see United winning the Europa League, for God's sake. Sporting have just gone 2-0 up. Victor Gyökeres with his second of the game, by the way. Victor Gyökeres absolutely flying in the Sporting team this season, as you'd expect. He got 29 goals, 10 assists last season in 33 games. So 39 goals and assists in 33 games. He's currently on 38 goals and assists in 28 games. So if it's possible, Gyökeres has actually improved on his season last year with Sporting. The only main difference is that, you know, Sporting are much further ahead in the league title race. Benfica 3 points, although Benfica can catch up with them actually. Benfica have got a game in hand on Sporting. Who are they playing? Guimarães. Benfica play Guimarães this weekend. Okie dokie. Right, we're about to kick off for the second half. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking for the second half here, predictions-wise. Do we think Oxford have got it in and to come back? There was a few people in the chat seemed to think before the game that Oxford actually, they had it in them. You know, they might just be able to pinch something here. And look, Oxford started well enough. Oxford did start well enough. I thought they did have a little bit in them to ruffle some feathers and actually cause a bit of an upset. You know, they certainly got at Leeds in the first 10 minutes, but it just soon settled down. Leeds, you know, rode it out. They rode a bit of luck in the first 10 minutes or so, and then they just got the foot on the ball. Started to pass it around, got into a bit of a rhythm, found the patterns of play, and it was it was two actually. It was two incisive passes forward from Leeds centre-backs. Again, it was Ampadu knocks it over the top for Solomon. Solomon knocks it across the face of goal. Chaos in the 6-yard area. Oxford knock it behind for a corner. And then about 10 minutes later, it was Joe Roden, the other centre-back. Great incisive pass between the full-back and the centre-back. Omar Bogle running through on the right channel. Drills it across the face of goal. And Mana Solomon running in with it was a tap-in, but he smashes it into the roof of the net. So, Leeds fully deserve to be ahead. But it's only 1-0. 1-0's a very dangerous scoreline. And, yeah, Oxford, I wouldn't rule them out. Not just yet. Wouldn't rule them out. J5 Killuminati followed the host. Very nice. Good name. I appreciate that. Gulf Coast, Florida, man of the Gulf of America, MOT. What does MOT mean? I don't know what that means. I wonder if there might be some changes for Leeds though, with the players they've got on the bench. Obviously, we've seen that that Dan James can be important coming off the bench for Leeds, stretching teams, opening them up with his pace. Will there be some opportunities for Leeds on the counter? You would have to imagine Oxford are going to have to come out and really go at Leeds, aren't they? They're going to have to do something to get back into the game. And you would imagine, again, that will leave some spaces for them to get forward. And yeah, I feel like Dan James is one that can exploit that. Maybe Ramazani, maybe Matteo Joseph as well. Bamford probably not the right sort of player, but the others, absolutely. You want some players with pace coming on. Dan James can hurt teams. Maybe even bringing on players like, Gillavogui, who can just kind of put the foot on it and control games. Take the sting out of the game. Because that's what Oxford will be trying to do here. They'll come out and say, we need to really get in the faces. We need to make sure we disrupt their patterns of play. We can't have them just putting the foot on it and knocking it around us. We know they're a good football inside. Leeds are a level above Oxford. But we can't allow them to just stop and keep knocking the ball around us. We've got to get in the faces. We've got to disrupt the patterns of play. Get the ball, send it long. As I say, send it long. Try and knock them about a bit. Try and get physical with them. Break it up with fouls as well if you have to. Whatever you do, don't just let them breeze to this win. Which is sadly what it's looking like it's going to be. But can Oxford turn it around? We're just about to kick off. Players are all set. And there we go, we're off. We're off and underway for the second half. And immediately, Oxford go long. That might be a sign of what's to come. And immediately the ref blows up for a foul on Leeds from a shoulder charge in the air. I mean, maybe he's not willing to give many of them physical challenges. Some refs really don't like him. Right, here you go. Oxford have finally got the foot on the ball. Sadly, they've given it away straight away. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Pumps it long. Mana Solomon immediately applying pressure. That's a foul and a free kick to Oxford. They take it quickly. Oh, that's another foul, surely. That was a bit silly from Oxford. Very silly. I mean, you can see Gary Rowett's immediately looking a little bit shocked by the way his team's come out here in this second half. I don't think that's the plan they had in mind. Well, there's a Leeds throw in there. They've somehow managed to throw it up the park without it coming into play. That's maybe not a first, but you don't see them very often. He tried to send it long up the line, and the ball didn't even come back into play. He just stayed out. So foul throw. Throw into Leeds. Throw into Oxford, sorry. Josh, Nonto needs a shot on target for my bet win. Okay. To be honest, I think Nonto is one of the players that, if you're Danny Farker, you're probably looking at him as one of the ones to bring off. It would be him for Dan James, wouldn't it? You know, Nonto, this maybe isn't his game. This isn't looking like his game so far. He's been quite anonymous. I've not seen him get many touches on the ball at all. Every time the ball goes out on this far side, Oxford load the penalty area with the centre-backs. They send everyone forward, and it's a long throw into the box from the left-back. They've put 4 players in front of the keeper. Straight into the box, cleared away by Ampadu. Oh, that's a free kick. That's a free kick. It's got to be a free kick. Ref, why are you doing it? How can that be play on? Play on. Who's he giving foul against? What's happening? Cameron Brannigan is absolutely raging at the referee. It's a free kick. It's a free kick to Oxford. And the referee somehow, I don't know why he tries to play on. How can it be a play on? You can't play on there. Willie Nonto fouls the Oxford defender. It should be a free kick to Oxford. I don't know why he's done that. The ref. Baffling decision. And you can see why Cameron Brannigan is absolutely raging at him, the Oxford captain. Sent long. It's a good switch from the goalkeeper. Oxford are showing a little bit more already in this second half. It's already looking like... Oh, that was a bit naughty. That was a little bit naughty from the Oxford player. It was Matos. Just left a little tiny bit there on Junior Firpo. Let's have a look at it back. Oh, it would have been a painful one. Just studs on top of the foot there. It was a bit of a, maybe not a stamp, but yeah, it was a little bit careless, a little bit reckless. Josh, I expect Leeds to score at least 2 goals. What, you think one more? You think they're going to score one more in the game? Surely not another 2 goals. Leeds haven't done an awful lot since they went ahead. They've given it back to Carl Darlow here. Darlow's going to send it up the pitch. Gary Rowett is just in the 4th official's ear. He's absolutely fuming at something. And all I saw then, again, not a professional lip reader, but all I saw was not fair. Something he said was not fair to the 4th official. You think they're going to get one more at least? Okay. I mean, you might be right. Yeah, you might be right. Look, and it wouldn't surprise me on the counter-attack, especially when they bring someone like Dan James on. They can certainly hurt Oxford. If Leeds get promoted, they need to have some good transfers. I just think they need more experience. Do you know what? Honestly, I think Leeds could do with going and getting some kind of experienced Premier League players. Like, again, I can't remember if he signed a new contract yet. I don't know. I don't think he has. But Christian Norgard, who plays for Brentford, his contract is due to run out this year. Brentford's captain. Obviously, he came up with Brentford from the Championship. I think he even came up with them from League One, didn't he? He's been with Brentford a really long time. He's kind of been on the journey with them, and he's been a really solid Premier League player for them ever since. He's only 30, I think, maybe 31 at a push, but he's available. He's still playing every game for Brentford in that holding position. And I think if you were Leeds and you were looking for a reliable, experienced Premier League midfielder, again, he's a captain, a real leader. Someone like that available on a free. If you could get Christian Norgard, that's the sort of signing Leeds need. Aronson, chance. Oh, just wide from Omar Bogle. Bogle already got one assist today. He very nearly got a goal there. He was driving forward. He played it in to, I think, Aronson. There's a bit of a tackle from I think it was Brannigan, actually. Again, Brannigan with the tackle on Aronson. And it falls to the edge of the area for Bogle. He opens his body up to try and get his right foot round it. Kind of skews it and it goes just wide. But still 1-0 to Leeds. Lee, thereafter, Buissa, player, and Solak from West Ham. Buissa and Solak. Who's Buissa and Solak? You know what, Soler or Souček? Or if they had a love child that I don't know about. Carlos Soler or Souček? Thomas Souček. Right, Thomas Souček. Yeah, Thomas Souček's a fantastic. That'd be mad. Surely he's not going to Leeds. He feels like a better player than Leeds. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being sly on Leeds, but Thomas Souček is a really good player. Arters, if Leeds do get promoted, where do you think they will place at the end of the Prem? I think if you got 17th, that would be a real result. And I'm sure Leeds would take that now. If offered it, if you got 17th in the Prem and you got battered pretty much every week, but you somehow managed to claw enough points by to get 17th, that's a result for Leeds, that's a win. As long as you stay up in that first season, that's all you need. But where do I think they can get? Again, it depends largely on what players you get in this summer, I would say. I think Leeds do need to do some work in the transfer market. I think they lack nous, if you know what I'm getting at by that. I think they lack that little bit of experience, Premier League grit that is necessary. That they maybe are a touch naive with Tanaka and Gruev in there. It is the midfield as well I'm talking about. I think Tanaka's, he's got potential, he's got ability, he's still only a young player. The same could probably be said of Gruev. Same could be said of Aronson as well. But I think all of them are just a little bit raw and they benefit from a more seasoned head coming in, let's say. And I just wonder who that might be. And there's a number of, ex sort of, top club players who might just be available this summer. I'm thinking of Liverpool players as well. As I'm talking through this, I'm thinking, who could Leeds go and get from Liverpool maybe that would be a real sort of impressive signing that maybe could... I think Leeds could do an awful lot worse than going and trying to get Harvey Elliott on loan. They'd never get him permanently. There's no way they'd get him permanently. But offering him a loan and assuring him that he'll play every week. Harvey Elliott can play in midfield. He can play. He would be a better option than Aronson, and you could put him in either of those wide positions ahead of maybe Nonto or Solomon, assuming Solomon goes back. Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder Julian Weigl. Look, Weigl's got the experience. Again, he's been around the block a little bit, but he's always injured. He's always injured, Weigl. I would have thought, he's just signed a new contract, so he's probably not the right player, but I did think about Leeds and Burnley and, the teams coming up in the context of Will Hughes at Crystal Palace. Will Hughes is a player who I think has been really, really good for Crystal Palace. Again, he's in that 30, 31 bracket, been around the block, played at a good level, but he's not going to start every game at Palace. And his contract was running out this summer. He's available on a free. That's a player that I think Leeds could benefit from. But he's just signed a new contract with Palace, so he's not going anywhere. Milner would be good, but with the wages... I was going to say Milner. I think Milner would love to go back to Leeds, actually. Yeah, I think he would probably relish that. That's exactly the sort of signing, actually. Yeah, good shout. Corin, I'm back. Just taking dog for walks. Nice. Josh, most promoted team buy old player all the time. That's the right thing to do. That is the reason they do it is because it works. It works. And when you come up from the Championship, these are the players who've got ability. They've just got that little. They lack that little bit of. Again, it's nous. Nous is the word I would use. They just have that little bit of an edge that you need in the Premier League. That seasoned sort of experience to know how to get them through games, and get them through difficult moments in games as well. When they're kind of, they've conceded, and it's maybe away from home. If you've not got a James Milner in your side, you probably lose that game 4 or 5-0 with this Leeds side. But if you've got a James Milner in there, or you've got a Jordan Henderson, go and get Jordan Henderson back from Ajax. He wanted to leave. He very nearly went and signed for. Was it Juventus? Was it Juventus? Jordan Henderson nearly went to. He's probably due a move. He might be up for coming back to the Prem. Go and get Jordan Henderson. He's still in and around the England squad. If you went and got Jordan Henderson, he'd start every game for Leeds. He would be absolutely fantastic. Monaco, that was the one. Yeah. Monaco would be a good move. Henderson would be a good move. Absolutely. What about Ferguson? Ferguson at Brighton. Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson's still a bit younger. Evan Ferguson reminds me a little bit of kind of, I guess, what they've already got in Bamford. Corin, I wish Jordan Henderson was still in the Prem. I liked him. Jordan Henderson is criminally underrated. And annoyingly, he's most underrated by Liverpool fans. This is the guy who led us to through our most successful period. And he was a starter pretty much all the time. And he pulled off unbelievable assists. Everyone thinks Jordan Henderson was just this, he was a good leader and he was an energetic midfielder or whatever. He was a fabulous midfielder. Some unbelievable assists. Really, really high quality assists. Like, he was a proper midfielder, Jordan. It wasn't even just about him being a great captain. He was a fabulous midfielder. Really was. Brilliant midfielder. Arters, what do you think Leeds need to work on? That was a bad tackle. It's a free kick. It's going to be a yellow card to Oxford. Really, really big opportunity there. Aronson was clean through and Hellick hauled him down. Maybe not clean through, actually. I mean, that's why he's got a yellow card. But Aronson was through. There was an opportunity there. And there was only a couple of Oxford players back. And he got dragged down. One, still... Hang on a second. Yeah, no, there was two. Yeah, so it's a free kick. It's about 30 yards out for Leeds. Aronson going through. Hellick with the slide tackle, nowhere near the ball. I think Leeds need to work on experience. I think the midfield lacks a little bit of experience. I think the defence is actually all right. Rodon's okay. I think Ampadu's okay. They could probably do with a centre-back, but with Strike as well. I think they've maybe got a couple of decent defenders in there. An ideal world, yes, you'd go and get one more. Goalkeeper's a problem. You can't go through a season in the Premier League with Carl Darlow and Ilan Meslier. You can't. Elan Melier has to go. Carl Darlow has to be your backup. So you need a goalkeeper. You need a goalkeeper. You probably need a centre-back. You probably need a centre-mid. And you probably need a centre-forward. Gruev with the free kick, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. So it's that spine. It's mad, isn't it, to say, oh, that's a yellow card. It's Gruev who's just took the free kick. He's just immediately ran and cleaned out Matos. It's a yellow card for Leeds. Leeds are linked with Ramsdale. Yeah, I think Ramsdale wouldn't be a bad one, but look, he's just gone down with Southampton. I don't know if he's a player that'll really keep Leeds up, but I guess we'll see. Hamer from Sheffield is linked with Leeds. He's a decent midfielder. I mean, Hamer's not going to go to Leeds unless Sheffield United don't go up. If Sheffield United don't go up, then yeah, Hamer would be a fabulous person to go and get. And that would be one of them where it's like a proper, go and get your rival's best player sort of thing. I think to be honest, I think Leeds could do with looking at the teams that are coming down as well. Honestly, like look at Ipswich. If I was Leeds, I'd be going and having a chat about like Sammy Smodics. Sammy Smodics would be one I would be looking at. Maybe even Jacob Greaves as well. Greaves at Ipswich. I think Greaves has had a really good season. He would be one who'd want to maybe go back up to the Prem. Could Leeds have a conversation about him? Leicester, I mean, maybe Harry Winks. Harry Winks might be a decent little signing for Leeds, someone like that. Tanaka with the ball over to the far side. Great touch by Solomon. Here we go, running down at the full-back. Cuts inside. Stood up to the far post. Very nearly a good effort there from Nonto, but it's all a little bit scrappy. Comes out to Firpo. He has a shot just over the bar. Ramsdale's been relegated 3 times. Yeah, probably not the best thing. Sorry if I don't make sense, I'm drunk. Hey, nothing wrong with that on a Friday night, Edward. Josh, Coventry should have waited to sell Gyökeres. Yeah, well, I mean, everything's easy with 2020 hindsight, isn't it? Harry Winks would be good. Wouldn't that be a good fit? I think someone like Harry Winks, spin around Spurs, Leicester going down, that might be not the worst fit for him. Corin, Liam Delap, Leeds should be looking at. Yeah, they're not getting Liam Delap. Lallana for Leeds could be decent. I think he's quite happy on the south coast now, isn't he? I think Lallana probably retires at Southampton now. He's already assistant manager there, isn't he, for the rest of this season? So I think he's probably going to phase out and retire now, Lallana. Arturs, what team do you support, Rembrandt? I'm a Liverpool fan. Arturs. Corin, do you think Phillips will go back to City? Hey, now that's a good shout, isn't it? Calvin Phillips. What about Calvin Phillips back to Leeds? You're on to something there. I think you're on to something there. Calvin Phillips absolutely is a good shout to go back to Leeds. That's one to keep an eye on, actually. Ben, Pete Lallana was class. Yeah, I never quite took to Lallana. And I don't know why. Rubes, Ramsdale isn't the reason for Southampton. No, he's not the reason, but he's also been relegated 3 times and he also hasn't covered himself in glory at Southampton. So I feel like Nonto, unlucky, just wide. I just don't think he's covered himself in glory, to be honest. Calvin Phillips would be good. He's just been injured quite a bit, yeah. But maybe at Leeds he can get back to his best. I mean, that's where he's produced his best. Maybe an option on loan from City. And they'd probably get him like that, wouldn't they? I'm sure if this went to City and said, we'll take him on loan, no option, maybe an option to buy for a low fee at the end of the season, providing certain criteria is met. I think City would be up for that. Get him off the wage bill. Ben, oh God, on his day, he was absolutely class. He had a good touch, didn't he? He had a good touch. He could turn a player and spin, but he was always a little bit slow for me. And he just didn't suit Klopp, I don't think. He never suited Klopp's teams. Klopp wanted high energy from his midfielders, and Lallana was never that. He was smart, he was an intelligent player, and he had a bit of guile about him, but he was never fast enough. Josh, who do you reckon will buy Tyler Diblin? I think someone like Brighton. Someone like Brighton might get him. He suits to Brighton, doesn't he? You know, he's that sort of an age profile. They've got Yankuba Minter on that side. I know they've got Adingra, but Adingra's not really done enough this season. I think they might go for Diblin to Brighton might work. Corin, I'm not the only one then who didn't think Lallana was that good. He was good. He just wasn't brilliant. He was never like one of our best players. Clock stopped. Thanks, Corin. What am I doing? 67. Right, okay. Good. Right, we're back. Jack Wilshere linked with Norwich as manager. Bloody hell. I know, and Wayne Rooney linked with... the keeper! Carl Darlow. Tell you what, very nearly. Talk about Ilan Melier causing problems for Leeds. Carl Darlow very nearly just put him in it. Alex Matos pressing him. He took a really heavy touch. The keeper. That should have been a corner to Oxford, that. That should have been a corner. Rubes can't even get the basics right, can he? I can't win on this channel. Ben, there was a small window of time where he was our best player. I mean, it must have been a very small window, Ben. Are we talking like one game? There's not a very often that I can remember Lallana being like unbelievable, undroppable. He was always dropped. He was always on the bench. If there was other players fit, he was never starting in our team. Corin, don't appoint Wayne Rooney. Arturs, do you think Leeds could get to the Champions League? Blimey, Arturs. Not anytime soon, no. But maybe if they get up to the Prem, which I think they will do, they'll get up to the Premier League, and I'm sure they'll cause some teams problems, and hopefully they stay up. I think a Premier League with Leeds is a better league. So yeah, I think we should get Leeds back up, and I think maybe in a few years' time, maybe they can kick on and grow in the same way we've seen Brighton do, and Villa came up. Villa was in the Championship not all that long ago, if you remember. So yeah, if Villa can be playing Champions League football, having been in the Championship, whatever it was, 5, 6, 7 years ago, then why can't Leeds? But I think it'll take some years, definitely. Josh, Ipswich and Southampton could get some money from player transfers. Well, Delap is Ipswich's big asset, and they're only going to get 24 million for him. It's confirmed. They can't get any more. £24 million is going to go to Ipswich for Delap. That's his buyout clause. Well, it's 30 million, but 6 million of that goes to City. So 24 million quid that Ipswich are going to get. Other than that, who else are they going to sell? Amari Hutchinson, maybe. Jacob Greaves, maybe. That's it. The rest of them, I think, stay. Josh, Leeds need to get at least mid-table before Champions League. Absolutely. I think it's going to be some time. Arturs, look at Nottingham Forest. They're third or something? Well, the fourth at the minute. They're fourth. But you're right. You are right. Yeah, Nottingham Forest were, a low-table team last year. They were in the Championship not long before that. Yeah, maybe. I don't see why not. Corin, I don't think they'll get relegated. Josh, Villa was looking to cash in on Grealish. Leeds don't have many players worth much. You say that, but Leeds have got a lot of young talent there. They have got a lot of young talent that could kick on, and if they do, then you never know. Some clubs come into them and, try to poach them for big cash. They're playing a bit of head tennis at the minute. The ball's just going up and down in the Oxford penalty area. Chance here, offside. Arta's rules, they could, but I don't think so. Amari Hutchinson's turned up for Ipswich when they needed it most. Still don't think Amari Hutchinson's going to be sold for big cash. I think he probably stays at Ipswich next year and does well in the Championship and comes back up with them. Ben Shorey scored in the Arsenal 4 Arshavin game. Who? Lallana? Who are you on about? Arsenal 4-4 Arshavin game. Lallana wasn't even with us then. Read message above. What message above? Oh, Robbie Keane. There's no Rob. Why have I not seen anything about Robbie Keane? I've not even seen a message about Robbie Keane. That didn't even come through to me. There's no message about Robbie Keane. Did you put the message in the chat? Because it's not come in. I put a message about Robbie Keane, mate. Yeah, it's not come in. It's not come in. There's no message about Robbie Keane in my chat. Leeds with the ball in. Nonto cleared away by Oxford. Here's Brannigan. There you go. Josh can't see it either. It might have been blocked. It's still on my screen. How mad is it? Honestly, it's happened a few times now. People must think I'm pig ignorant. Because there's messages that I can't see, that other people can't see, but you can. How mad's that? That's why I was a bit odd. Wait, you're on about Lallana and then all of a sudden Robbie Keane, Arsenal 4-4. Yeah, that Arsenal 4-4 game was mad. We had a couple of games like that with Arsenal. Lee Walker, come on Leeds. Dirty Leeds. They're about to win, I think. They've been the better side tonight, absolutely. It's chance here for Bamford, who's just come on. Comes back to Aronson. Aronson to Nonto. Out back to Tanaka. Rafa was a top manager. Yeah, Rafa was brilliant. Loved Rafa Benitez. Ben was buzzing as a kid when Robbie Keane signed. I always kind of got the feeling that wasn't going to work out, though. I know that I'm not trying to be like, look at me, I got it right. There's loads of transfers I thought were going to be brilliant and didn't. Balotelli was one of them, funnily enough. I was made up when we signed Mario Balotelli, so it shows what I know. But with Robbie Keane, I remember thinking at the time, and I think I even shared it with a few people and said, this isn't gonna work. There's no way this works. And the reason for that was it's going to mean Gerrard goes out wide or Keane has to go out wide, and that's exactly what happened. No! Leeds with a deflected shot. It's gone out for a corner. All the way to a corner. Rubes, where is Bamford next season? It ain't going to be in the Premier League. I think Leeds will try to move him on. I'm sure he'll try and get another crack at it. He's not a Premier League player, Patrick Bamford. Dan James is about to come on as well here. Lee Oxley, Andy Carroll signing. Again, I thought that was another one. I thought Andy Carroll would work out really, really well. And Stuart Downing. I thought Stuart Downing would work out really well. I'm trying to think of the ones that I thought definitely wouldn't work out and did, that I got wrong. Definitely wouldn't work out and did. Are there any I got wrong on that front? I'm sure there are. I thought Markovic. I remember watching Markovic for Benfica tearing it up. And I remember thinking at the time, the only thing that concerned me with Lazar Markovic was he was temperamental. He was discipline was a problem, and I think I remember seeing him get sent off against Juventus for nothing. It was a stupid argument, and he ends up throwing his hands out at people and got sent off for it, straight red. But as a player, he was unbelievable to watch. And I thought, wow, for 20 million quid, we've got a hell of a player here. One of the worst players we've ever had. Ben Downing was shit. They actually did Craig Bellamy work. Craig Bellamy, I think we should have kept. We should have kept. He left because of Rafa Benitez, and he came back because of King Kenny. But Craig Bellamy was a perfect striker for Liverpool, and he was a brilliant striker. We shouldn't have sold him. We sold him the first time, and he ended up going on to Man City and becoming a top striker for him. But yeah, I think he did. I think he falls under the bracket of he worked out. He ended up scoring a winner in a cup semi-final against Man City. League Cup semi-final, the year we won it as well. Ben Twist, Downing was a good player. Downing was a good player, he just wasn't a good player for us. He signed in order to be this winger that's going to get your boots white, get down the touchline and put a ball in for Andy Carroll to play a certain style of play. And immediately he came in, he only played that system for a few months, and Kenny left. And Brendan Rodgers came in, and Brendan Rodgers was like, right, I don't want to play like that anymore. We're not playing that way. We play a completely different way. I need something different from my wingers. And Downing wasn't that. Emre Can was a terrific player. He was one I would have liked to keep. But he left thinking the grass was greener. He went to Juventus. Corner for Leeds. Whipped in. All the way through to the other side. Dan James is going to recycle it. He squared Matos up. You're not going to beat him for pace, even though Dan James is quite quick. He might get a corner. Oh, straight out for a goal kick. Corrin, he was a good player. Bamford got 17 goals one season. Lee Oxley, Mark Gonzalez. Mark Gonzalez was actually not a bad player. But his work permit issues always caused him some issues. He came over and he had to leave to go on loan and all sorts of things. He might have been a better player for that. I mean, he was all right when he went to CSKA Moscow. That might be a corner. Is it a corner? What's going on? What's going on? I think a fan has collapsed in the crowd. Something's happened. They want the game stopped. I don't know what's going on, but they want the game stopped. Matty, do you see another goal in this game? No. There's 10 minutes left. I mean, Ipswich are pushing... Oxford are pushing for it. Because we've mentioned Ipswich in the chat. Oxford are pushing for it. They're pushing forward. Plaqueta's just come off. They've brought another striker on. There's a chance. There's certainly a chance. Yeah, there's certainly a chance. 1 second. Alex Matos coming off. He's caused some problems tonight for Leeds. It's Mills and Bradshaw coming on. Corin, do you think Amarim will start Maguire as their striker? No. Nuri Sahin. Yeah, Nuri Sahin had a lot of technical ability, but again, he never fitted Rodgers' system. He needed more pace from his midfield. Arturs, what's your thoughts about Trent going to Madrid? I think it's a mistake. And if the rumours today are to be believed, I'm just talking about this now because while we've got a break in play. If the rumours today are to be believed, Trent is apparently reconsidering his decision to go to Real Madrid. Whether or not he does, I don't know. Lee Oxley, Andrea Dossena, Paul Konchesky, yeah, all terrible. At least Andrea Dossena scored winners for us though against Man United and Real Madrid. That's an odd... It's an odd situation when you get a left-back who somehow ends up scoring like iconic goals against Man United and Real Madrid. Lee Walker, did you sign Warnock? No, we sold Warnock. Stephen Warnock came through our academy and he played a few games and hasn't stopped mentioning it since. You know, he dines out on it on Sky Sports. And does not stop talking about the fact that Rafa Benitez dropped him for the Champions League final, even though it was completely justified. Because one, we won it, so it was the right team selection. And two, he was shit. He was absolutely dog meat. Charlie Adam. I think Charlie Adam, I remember saying, he'll be a great signing for us, him. He'll be brilliant, him. He'll be absolutely brilliant. And then I read Steven Gerrard's autobiography where he says, he said on the first day Charlie Adam came to training, him and Carragher were talking, and he said, "Who's this fat cunt?" He said to Carragher, "Who's this fat cunt? Can't pass a ball." Andre Voronin, yeah, never thought he'd do much, but he was always only backup. Did you see what Maguire put on Facebook? I haven't. What's he said? Joe Cole, I thought Joe Cole, I mean, I hate Joe Cole now. Joe Cole totally didn't get Liverpool. I just think Liverpool should have a full ban, like a full permanent ban on signing Southerners. Anyone south of Birmingham, you don't play for Liverpool. There is a very real north-south divide in England, and it's not just political, it's cultural, it's a massive thing. And if you are a Southerner, if you're a Londoner, a Cockney, if you're from the South Coast, the chances are you're not going to vibe with Scousers and Liverpool. It's just, as a club, it's just a completely odd mix. And every time we've got a Cockney in, it's just never worked. Joe Cole didn't work out. There's a lot of Cockneys just never work out for Liverpool. La Bohemian followed. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Lee Oxley, Victor Moses. Southerners may as well be from Bulgaria compared to us Northerners. Absolutely right. Oxford pushing forward here. And Leeds win it on the counter-attack. They might have a chance here. They're just slowing it down, Leeds. They're not bothered. They're not going forward. It's a foul. It's a foul. Josh Maguire has more goals up front than Salah has had recently. Well, I mean, that's categorically not true. Rubes, Joe Cole was wrong time, wrong place. He was 30, I think, wasn't he? He was about 30 when he signed. I mean, he was a free transfer, but he just never quite worked out for him. I think it was more what he said, because he came to the club and the club obviously did like a welcome interview with him where they said, how do you feel to be at the biggest club in England? How do you feel to be at Liverpool? And his response was like a little bit perplexed, like, I don't think I am at the biggest club in England. Like that, I've left Chelsea where Chelsea win league titles and we compete for European Cups and all that. Like that's a big club to me. I'm not joining a massive club. Kind of made a big deal about it, forgetting the fact that Liverpool were and still are the biggest club in England. So it kind of put a needle in the fans straight away. It was never ever going to work out. He got sent off in his first match. Yeah, he did. It was Arsenal, wasn't it? Arsenal. I remember that. David and goal, 1-1. Nicked it in the last minute. Got an equaliser. 10 men Liverpool. Josh Maguire has had more goals than Salah had since the 8th of March versus Southampton. Scott Carson was quality. He was okay. He had a clanger against Juventus in the Champions League, though. Corin, who's this? We're still on about Joe Cole. This has been an awful game. This has been a really dreadful game. I apologise to any of the fans on any of the people watching on YouTube or Twitch or wherever you might be watching this. Because if you've not been able to get involved in the chat on TikTok, I mean, you can put stuff in the chat on YouTube or Twitch or wherever. I'll still see it and I'll still comment back. But it's been a pretty dreadful game to watch. They're just about to bring on, I think it's Matteo Joseph coming on. Solomon's about to go off. Josh, Leeds sign Peter Crouch for the season would be class. Peter Crouch, he's another one we should never have sold. You look at Peter Crouch, he left Liverpool, he went to Portsmouth, won an FA Cup, went to Spurs, started playing the Champions League, scored at Inter Milan at the San Siro. We never should have sold him. Do you know what? I tell you what, that's a lie. That's a lie about what I just said about Southerners. because he got Liverpool. I'm not. Maybe it's not a total blanket rule, because there's obviously exceptions. Johnny Barnes was a Southerner. Peter Crouch, he's another one who got Liverpool. He should never, ever, ever have been sold. He was a brilliant, not just a brilliant player, but a brilliant guy as well. Like, for a Liverpool centre-forward to come in and not score for, I think, was it 15 games? His first 15 games he didn't score for Liverpool. And he was playing pretty much every game. Oh, unlucky. Oxford very nearly giving it away in the last knock-ins. He didn't score in his first 15 games, and all of a sudden, all the fans just wanted to support him. They were rallying round him. Tanaka, off the inside of the post. Tanaka's just had a shot from about 35 yards out. It's an unbelievable strike. Drills it low and hard. Bounces off the floor. The keeper's nowhere near it. Gets nowhere near it. Smashes off the inside of the post. Oh no, the keeper gets a touch on it. It's a great save, actually. Fingertips. That probably keeps Oxford in the game. There's 5 minutes or so left to go. Unbelievable, that, from the goalkeeper. Josh, I'm always compared to Peter Crouch, and that's due to my height. Nice. Yeah, I get that about Sean Wright-Phillips. Steve Finnan. Steve Finnan's my favourite Liverpool right-back. And I include Trent in that. Steve Finnan is my favourite Liverpool right-back. Steve Finnan and closely followed by Alvaro Arbeloa. But you're right, Steve Finnan was great. And I know he was Irish. But technically, he was from London, wasn't he? He was from Fulham. Came up through Fulham. Ben Twist, and his first goal was a big deflection. It was, against Wigan. Smashed it in from about 30 yards against Wigan. It bounced up, and Mike Pollitt was the goalkeeper for Wigan, and he flopped it in. Thank you, Rubes. I appreciate that, what you've just sent through. Arters, I think Leeds could score one more. There's no goal in this. There's no more goal in this. Corin, what about left back? Left back? What do you mean left back? He was a Southerner. I know he was... Steve Finnan, I'm sure, was one of the first players. He may even still be the only player to play in the conference. The conference, League 2, League 1, the Championship, the Premier League, the FA Cup final, the League Cup final, and the Champions League final. I think I'm right in saying that. He might still be the only player to do that. There was some stat like that, and it was Steve Finnan. Because there's also there's only one player who's scored hat-tricks in the conference, League 2, League 1, the Championship, and the Premier League, and it's Robert Earnshaw. He's one of the only, if not the only player who's scored hat-tricks every league in English football. Lee Oxley, Chris Kirkland, what was he like? Chris Kirkland, always broken. Always broken, that lad. 7 minutes of added time. 7 minutes of added time here at the Kassam Stadium. Can Oxford do something? They've not got into Leeds half in the second half, really. It's another foul. El Mizuni, who's just come on for Oxford. It's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Vardy, clock stopped. Oh God. What am I like? Right, there you go. We're back on. Yeah, Vardy will have broken that now, but it used to be Robert Earnshaw. Although I don't know if Vardy has done hat-tricks at every level. He's done hat-tricks at Premier League, Championship. I don't know if he did it maybe Conference or whatever. Maybe he has. But it used to be Robert Earnshaw. Maybe still is. Who knows? Robert Earnshaw was brilliant. It was West Brom he played for, wasn't it? Yeah, Fleetwood for Vardy, sorry. Yeah, I remember Fleetwood was who Vardy played with. Right, Leeds are in down the left-hand side. Good block by Oxford. Still 6 minutes left. They're sending it long now. Oh my God, that's a brilliant piece of play. Wonderful ball. Oh my God. Oh, it's a great tackle by, is it Ampadu? Oh, Rodon. He's been Leeds star player tonight, Joe Rodon. Fabulous piece of play. That's a wonderful bit of football. Oxford mashed it, just sent it forward. It was a nothing ball, and they turn it into something. And if Joe Rodon doesn't get that ball, they're in. Oxford are in, and it might be game over. That might be 1-1, and Leeds dropping points and all sorts. But Rodon makes a massive, massive challenge there. And not only that, but he's created the goal for Leeds tonight. He won't get an assist. That'll go to Omar Bogle. But make no mistake about it, Joe Rodon has been exceptional for Leeds tonight. Defensively and going forward, he's been the difference maker. Exceptional at the back. Jake, thank you very much for the follow. Josh, what are the chances? Leeds by Mahrez. He would be an experienced player. Yeah, he would. I just don't necessarily think it's creative options that Leeds are lacking. It's nous, it's guile. It's in the middle of the park. It's where the real fights kind of happen. And where you want your captains, your leaders. You want them guiding you through the game. Oxford. Oh, on the roof of the net. Whew, it was Hellick who was furthest forward. Last 4 minutes here. Mahrez is in Saudi now, I think. He is, yeah. He's, I wouldn't mind be a pound behind him in the bank. He's doing all right, isn't he? Well, so much for us having loads of goals today. I was kind of hoping we'd see more than 5 goals. Oh, 6. 6. We'll be on for 6, won't we? In 4 games today, we've watched 4 games since 12 o'clock today. We're currently on nearly 10 o'clock. So 10 hours of live streaming. And we've seen 6 goals. 6 goals, 1 red card. 10 hours. That was good play by Leeds. Oxford are really throwing caution to the wind now. They've got 5 players in the Leeds half pressing the back line, and it's just forced Leeds to knock it forward. They've just smashed it out of play, trying to calm things down. Here's Guilavogui coming on. Unsurprisingly, he's the experience. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly the sort of move I'm talking about. Brendan Aronson coming off. He's the energy, he's the guile, he's the legs in the final third. Now here's the brain coming on. 34-year-old Josh Guilavogui, ex-Wolfsburg, been around the block, knows the game. He'll break play up, he'll take a foul or two. And unsurprisingly, there you go, player of the match. Sky Bet's player of the match, Joe Rodon. Called it. He's been exceptional tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Josh, who do you reckon would buy Duran back in the Prem? Anyone. Anyone would take him. Name me a team that wouldn't. I'd have him at Liverpool. Arsenal. Maybe City are the only ones who wouldn't because they've got Marmoush and Haaland. I'd have him at Liverpool, no problem. So yeah, John Duran, fabulous. The football retirement home. It's fair play. It's unbelievable, really, what they do. Oh, that might be a free kick. Come on, ref. He was all over him. Not getting it. Grealish, where's he going next season? Yeah, there's a question. Well, that was. I posted a video about this the other day, and people didn't seem to get it. It was headline. It was just 2 pictures. It wasn't even a video. It was just 2 pictures. Headline number 1 was taken in. It was a screenshot of it from July 2021, and it was Manchester City offer Morgan Rogers plus £100 million for Jack Grealish. That was the headline in July of 2021. Morgan Rogers plus Jack Grealish. Switch forward to April 2025, and it was Man City preparing £100 million offer plus Jack Grealish for Morgan Rogers. And I just immediately thought, oh, that's a post. You've got to look at that and say, goodness me, there's parallels there. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Grealish goes back to Villa. He loves the club. They're in the Champions League, maybe the Europa. They would benefit from Jack Grealish. You know, he's still a competent player. I think he would add value to Villa. He would benefit them. He's experienced. He's been at the top level. I think he'd be a great signing for Villa. Oxford knocking it into the box. There's 15 seconds left here. They've got to go long. They've got to pump it into the area. Get it into the box. Send it. That's not the right ball. That's not the right ball. Here we go. They've got to get it in the box now. This is last chance saloon. Ball in. Chance. Oh, unlucky. He flew in at the back stick there. And it was a good bit of defending from Leeds. It was Mills coming in at the back stick. He had all of the time in the world there. But I think it was Joseph, actually. Joseph just kind of leant into him, put him off. It was a bit of the Harry Kane. Joe kind of just seen him coming and just leant into him like that. And he goes over and he sends the header miles over the bar. We're past the 97th minute, added on time. Corey and I got Leeds win or draw with under 5 goals. Nice, well done. I'd have Duran at Everton, obviously. Don't know what to think about Jack Grealish, good or bad. Listen, Jack Grealish is a very good Premier League footballer. He doesn't have the numbers of... Was he worth 100 million? No. But he's won a treble. And, Jack Grealish is probably a fine example of a player who will have a shed load of trophies at the end of his career and is a bit... There you go, game's over. Game is over. Leeds United win. They go back to the top of the Championship. Oxford United 0, Leeds United 1. Game done. Game done. Brilliant result for Leeds. Back to the top of the Championship. And I think that might just put the nail in the coffin. Let me know what you think in the comments about this, by the way. It might just put the nail in the coffin of Sheffield United's promotion. Automatic promotion claim. They're now 5 points behind Leeds. 5 points behind second place Burnley. Big goal difference back on both of those as well. What's Burnley's goal difference? Let's just have a quick check of Burnley's goal difference. Burnley's goal difference is plus 45. Sheffield United's is plus 26. So, yeah. Burnley, listen, Sheffield United are 5 points behind Leeds, 5 points behind Burnley. Massive goal difference behind on them, so it's effectively 6 points. They need to beat Burnley on Monday Night Football. We'll be live for that, 5:30 Monday night for Sheffield United against Burnley. But if they don't win that, I can't see him clawing back 6 points when there's only 9 left to play for in this season. So it looks like Sheffield United are going to have to settle for a place in the playoffs. Place in the playoffs for Sheffield United. And Leeds now level on points with Burnley. Leeds top based on goal difference. So I'm sure they'll be hoping for Sheffield United to beat Burnley, because that might just wrap up the title for them. They're very close. 3 games. 3 games. If they can win those last 3, they win the Championship title. Can they do it? Can they do it? There's someone out there for everyone, absolutely. So yeah, listen, we've had a big day of Championship football. It's been a great game, a great night, a great day. We've had a lot of fun. Some of the games have been a bit all over the place, but listen, I've enjoyed talking to everyone. Thank you for the 10 hours of streaming. If you've been here since day one, thanks Corin, thanks everyone who's been in the chat. Loads of 1-0s. Yeah, we've had 2 2-0s, have we? Yeah, 2 2-0s, 2 1-0s. And a red card. 2 2-0s, 2 1-0s, and a red card. I've enjoyed it. It's been good fun, hasn't it? It's been good fun. We can't probably do it all the time, but once in a blue moon, it's been quite nice. I'm going to be back tomorrow for... Have we got 3 games tomorrow? Or 2? I can't remember. I think we've got 3. Let me double check. Tomorrow, Saturday night, Saturday night, let's just talk them through very quickly. Premier League, 3 o'clock. I'm going to be live from 2 p.m. for Everton against Man City at Goodison Park. You've got to do that one. That's going to be a massive, massive game tomorrow. So really, really big one. Calm the Red, Huddersfield 1, Cambridge 2 was crazy. Yeah, that was huge. Huge game. Huge result for Cambridge. So yeah, we're going to be watching Everton City tomorrow live from 2 p.m. If you're about, come and give us a follow. Come and watch that one with us. That one's going to be really good. And then 5:30, Aston Villa against Newcastle. Huge game. So straight after Everton City go off, we'll go straight to Villa Newcastle. I don't know about a late kickoff tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, late kickoff. Could we watch? I think Las Palmas against Atletico Madrid might be worth watching. If anyone fancies sticking around for that, we might put that one on. Monza against Napoli. That might be worth a look. Marseille against Montpellier. That might be worth a look. Any Bundesliga games? Nah. Right, so yeah, maybe one of them. Maybe we'll do a late European game. Remains to be seen. But certainly those two. We'll definitely do City away at Goodison Park tomorrow from 2 p.m. and the big 5:30 game, Aston Villa against Newcastle. Two massive games. You've got to come. If you've stuck with me today, please come and watch me with them tomorrow, because I'm sure we'll get better results. We'll get absolutely loads going on. I'm looking forward to hearing what your predictions are and all that sort of stuff, all your comments, all your feedback and all that good stuff. It's all good. And yeah, come and join, come and follow, come and do all the good stuff. I'm going to wrap up for the night because we're on 10 o'clock and I've been live since 12. I'm absolutely shattered. And I've not eaten. I'm a big guy. I'm trying to shift the pounds. Doing more of these days are going to help me because not a morsel has passed my lips. I'm debating whether or not even to go and get something at 10 o'clock. Might have a little piece of toast or something before bed. We shall see. But listen, thanks everyone who's been around for the stream. I'm going to wrap up now and go to bed. And I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock for Everton against Manchester City. If you're going out, doing whatever you're doing on a Friday night, enjoy. I'll catch you tomorrow afternoon.